Doesn't sound like it. Okay, we'll call the regular meeting of the Jersey Shore Board of Directors to order for October 25th. Can we have a roll call, please, Mr. Enders?
Mr. Michael Allen.
Present.
Mr. Brungard. Present. Ms. Stobler.
Here.
Mrs. Grant.
Here.
Mr. Kinley.
Here.
Mrs. Petrosky. Mrs. Stemler. Mrs. Thomas.
Here.
Mr. Craig Allen.
There.
All 9 members present.
Okay, rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, move on to approval minutes for September 13th and September 27th regular meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussions or corrections? Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Treasurer's report. We have the treasurer's report, investment report, board summary report, and student activity reports for September 21. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
I'm giving it to Angela because you're trying to hog them longer. Any questions, comments, or corrections on the treasurer's report?
Just for the boards to note on the investment report, our new scholarship that was invested in the end of June is now listed on there. So you will start seeing that on a quarterly basis.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of bills totaling $7,186,837.98.
So moved.
Second? Okay, any questions, comments, or concerns?
Again, notate for the board, the bills are rather large, very large. All bond payments were made at the beginning of September. They totaled just shy of $2.8 million, plus the quarterly PEASers retirement payment was made in September, and that was a amount of just over $1.5 million. So is the reason for the extra large report this time.
Can you explain the void and the electronic payments, what happened there, what is that?
So we had a void of our Peters payment, and it got recorded to the wrong bank account. Then it was made on time, everything was done with it, but it was recorded to the wrong bank account. So in order to correct that, we have to void it and reissue it. And it solely was an accounting recording, it had nothing to do with the processing of the payment.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Communications.
I just want to say publicly for the board that we continue to monitor active court cases across the state. I have received communications questioning if the district is receiving additional COVID funds because we are requiring masks, and the answer to that is no. There are no additional funds for compliance. That's all the communications I have. Thank you.
Okay, President's report, and this time I'd like to defer to Mr. Keene, if he could make a couple of introductions for us.
Good evening, board, community. Ladies, would you like to join me? It's my pleasure to introduce the two student school board representatives for this year, senior Madeline Gerst and junior Kira Beerley. Would you ladies like to say anything?
Hi, everybody. My name's Madeline Gerst, and I'm obviously a senior at the high school right now. I'm involved in many clubs and sports. I'm the treasurer of Key Club and Renaissance Club and the president of Student Council. I do tennis and track as well.
Hi, I'm Kira Beerley, and I'm a junior. I'm also involved in many clubs. I'm currently the drum major for the marching band, and I'm the treasurer for National Arts Honor Society.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
I have nothing else for President's report. Intermediate report?
I did have attached to the agenda the board summary that we had. The one thing that was really interesting was the technology services report, that they received a telepresence education grant totaling $29,248 for, they were able to replace the hardware for existing robots and purchase 6 new telepresence robots and student-controlled Chromebooks. And the cost of one robot set is $3,044. But, you know, so school districts now with the grant will be able to utilize that equipment at no cost, with the potential to save districts thousands of dollars while creating an inclusive remote learning option for eligible students. And one thing he said, like with their Chromebook, like the students, you know, that have disabilities, whatever, that robot can be actually in the classroom for the student. And it can actually move from room to room, like, you know, go down the hall and go to the art class for the student. And, you know, the students can really be able to be part of the class. So that was pretty interesting. That's my report.
Thank you. The next agenda item is a student report. We won't pressure you tonight to give us any big report. Generally speaking, if you have a report for a meeting, if you'll just make sure that Dr. Ulmer knows about it, so we can put it on in advance if possible. Superintendent's report.
There are 4 policies tonight on the agenda under my report. 3 of them contain language edits from PSBA. One of them is a brand new policy, policy 218.3. I did have some conversation with the solicitor about whether some of those language items in there that I received at least one question about had to be included. We can make some adjustments to that as the policy goes through the process, but that one is new, so I would ask that you take a really close look at that. The other three just contain language edits based on law.
Okay. And we did not have anyone sign up for the first courtesy of the floor for agenda items. So we'll keep moving to personnel. Personnel, we have items A through E. Could I have a motion to approve personnel?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, any questions, comments, or concerns about A through E? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, curriculum instruction, we have nothing. Building and grounds, we have nothing. Finance, we have item A, which is an agreement with for Blast IU-17 for IDEA. And this is just pass-through funds. Could I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or concerns? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Miscellaneous, we have items A through F, and it's been requested that we vote on D and E as a roll call vote, but I'd accept a motion and a second to approve all of them, then we'll handle D and E separately.
So moved.
Okay. All right, any questions on, let's take the general consent items first, A, B, C, or F? Okay, no, if there's no questions, all in favor for A, B, C, and F, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. We'll do a roll call on D and E, but first we'll open it up to any discussion on those two items. Okay, no discussion. Could we go ahead and do D first, Mr. Enders, and then we'll do E?
Mr. Michael Allen.
So, just a question, excuse me. This was the agreement for the 2 years.
Correct.
All right. And the other one was just the single year.
Correct.
I'll say yes to D.
Mr. Bringard.
No.
Ms. Dobler.
Yes.
Ms. Grant.
No.
Mr. Kinley.
No.
Mrs. Petrowski.
No.
Mrs. Stemler.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Craig Allen.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-4.
Okay, we'll move on to E. Any questions or concerns on E?
No.
Okay, can we have a roll call then, Mr. Enders?
Mr. Michael Allen,
No to E.
Mr. Broomgard,
No.
Ms. Dobler,
No.
Mrs. Grant,
No.
Mr. Kinley,
No.
Mrs. Petrowski,
No.
Mrs. Stemler,
No.
Mrs. Thomas,
No.
Mr. Craig Allen.
No.
Motion fails, 0 to 9.
Just to be clear, we had an executive session at 6 o'clock tonight that was for legal and personnel items. And at this point, is there anybody has any old business to bring up? Hearing no old business, we'll move on to the second courtesy of the floor. Anybody like to speak at the second courtesy of the floor?
Kayla Calhoun, Avis Borough. This is just a quick question for Dr. Almer. I was wondering if there was an update on the student enrollment, mainly pertaining to the kiddos that were at Sugar Valley or JSAW, or any of the other online or homeschooling. And how do we plan on managing those kiddos when they're coming back to the school with the class size and teachers? I've been hearing that with the amount of kiddos coming back that class sizes are getting larger. And I just feel that all of our kids deserve the right to a free and equal education. So just I guess what the plan is then for that.
So we do get an update date from our enrollment department at the beginning of every month. So the last one I shared with the board would have been the beginning of October. We should have another one coming up soon. I do get copies of those new student enrollments, and I'm monitoring closely which grade levels they're going into for that specific reason. Right now, our concern, and I've shared with the board, is with kindergarten at JSE, and I have had meetings with those principals and those teachers and try to find solutions for that kindergarten enrollment at JSE.
Thank you very much, Dr. Almer.
Anyone else? This is public comment.
Ladies first, ladies first. Ladies first. Good evening, Bert Francis, Jersey Shore, PA. A little lighter note. How many of you attended the last home football game at Jersey Shore? I know I saw some of you there and whatever. What a display our school put on that night. We paraded, I don't know how many students out on that field. What were there, 100 or more students, a band, and people coming back. And those kids sang the Star-Spangled Banner for us. Brought tears to my eyes to see that happen. And they should have brought everybody. So again, you know me in our district, we got the best district in the state of Pennsylvania and so on. And I can assume, pretty much, I know all you folks, I guess all of you are on the other side of the table. I think most all of you are married. Most all of you are mothers, dads, grandparents. So I can say without reservation that when you come on the school board, that's why you come on the school board, thinking about our children, your children, my children, everybody's children in this room. So I applaud you for that. I don't think you guys get any money, do you, for anything? No. But I don't think anybody has any idea how many hours that school board members spend in a year doing school board business. Would you guess maybe 200, 300 years you spend behind that table and doing all the business? I think it's more up in the hundreds, maybe 800 or 1,000 hours. So all you people thinking about running for the school board, it's not an easy job. You're criticized, you're maligned, And it just drives me nuts when people pick on school boards. If you're going to volunteer, so we thank you very much for what you do and continue the good work. Thank you.
Maybe I should have went first.
Okay, next time.
Good evening. Anne-Marie Furman, still God's soldier, Watson Township. You know, these two girls up here are what it's all about. And I see the indoctrination that this board and the school has put on them with them still wearing those masks. Don't even probably hesitate in doing it. I'd like you guys to do the research on the health effects to those masks, mentally, physically. It's upsetting, to be honest, that you're allowing those two beautiful girls to have to hide their face, their beautiful smiles. Why do you all continue to be silent on the evil being spread upon our children? When are you going to speak out against the harm being placed upon their health and the destruction of their education? If the children can't rely on their teachers, the district administrators, or the board to protect them while they're at school, then who can they trust while they're in their buildings? Your continued lack of action will have lifelong effects on them. And I just want you all to know that I pray God to give me these words, and He gives me these words. These aren't mine, these are His. Take the mask off our children. Stand against the vaccine and stop the indoctrination. How much longer do we have to fight? In addition, stop telling us you don't have to say to do that. That you have to listen to the Secretary of Health or the Department of Education. You all, the teachers, the administrator, this board, are the direct link to our children. The direct link. They don't know our children. They don't care about our children. If you don't stand for the truth, what are you standing for? We are losing our country. We are losing our children. We're allowing them to just fall in line because us adults are doing the same. Finally, during the last meeting, it was stated multiple times by a board member that this was our meeting when asking for the room to be quiet. I know that I am new to these meetings. However, my understanding of these meetings are that they are public and the district is funded by us taxpayers. This is not your meeting. This is our meeting. This is the taxpayers, the parents, the children's meeting, not your meeting. We elected you. Maybe when you realize this, you will finally stand up for the children and the parents.
Mrs. Furman, time's up.
Stop cowering to what is right. Stand up for the truth and for our children. When are you going to do it? When are you going to start? None of this matters. The budget, you're losing it all. One step closer to socialism and communism. Our children are the ones who are affected by this. And you're doing nothing to stand there and support us.
Anyone else?
Hi, Jesse Edwards, Piatt Township. I'm just going to give some information just to make sure the board is privy to this information. It was posted in the Department of Pennsylvania that if school districts allow teaching by professionals on COVID vaccination, that the school district will receive $100,000, I think. I think that's correct. Also, there was a letter from the Department of Health that was released 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I'm a little shaky because this is frightening. It says in the letter that was sent to the school districts, you must immediately adhere to the quarantine directive and all the disease control measures, including in it. If you do not cooperate with the directive, the Secretary of Health may petition a court to have you confined to an appropriate place chosen by the department to make certain that you are not able to infect the public and make certain that you receive proper care. You will be kept there until the department determines it may release you from quarantine. Law enforcement may be called upon the extent necessary to ensure you're complicit with the directive. Please feel free to contact the Department of Contact Directive at, and it has the phone number, 1-877-724-3258, option 1. So that sounds like children could be removed until they finish their quarantine. What is that, 10 days, 14 days away from their family? Fortunately, I've been in contact with our state representative, the commissioners, and we have a district attorney that will protect our community. He says that he will not arrest anybody for not wearing a mask, and he will not allow our law enforcement to remove children from a school facility to be sent to another facility. However, for just a few people, we need to work together. I don't know how much of that information you are all privy to. I look it up myself. I've contacted our representative. I've contacted both from Clinton County and
Ms. Edwards,
Lycoming County.
your time is up.
Are you privy to this information? A nod would be okay. Yes or no? Thank you.
Anyone else? Sure. Yep, yeah, you don't have to sign up for the second courtesy of the floor. Just need to know your name and essentially what township or borough that you live in.
My name is Crystal Kitchen, and I live in the Jersey Shore borough. So first, I want to thank each person for sitting on the school board. Now, I have not been coming to these meetings since COVID. I watch online, just life has gotten busy, but I've been coming probably since, when was Mr. Welsh the president? Was that like 2006?
2005.
2005, okay. So I've seen wave after wave of, everybody's all fired up. Then it calms down and there's virtually like 3 people at the school board meetings, and then everybody gets fired up again. And I just hope, and the people that are here, I hope people continue to come, but putting all my political views aside, and I am a God-fearing woman, I wish people were as concerned about souls as they are political opinions, but I thank you for each one, because even if I don't agree with your beliefs, you're taking a stand, and it's not easy for anybody to get up and speak. It takes passion for what you believe in. So I just want you to know that I'm praying for each one of you. I pray for wisdom. I believe that God has everybody in a position for a reason. So I'm praying for you, and I just wanted to encourage you. Again, I'm not going to come up here and say what I believe about this, what I believe. I wanted to encourage you all. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll close courtesy of the floor. And I was reminded by the superintendent that we also had an executive session at our last meeting that was not recorded. That was also for legal and personnel. And that's it for this evening. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll give it to Mrs. Grant because she
Okay, just in here.
nodded
Second.
this way. Okay, thank you. Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.